Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining us. This is Serious Matters on ONIF TV. My name is Olukunle Abraham. As we look at matters that make the round, we're going to be focus our attention on, quite a number of issues making the round. You see quite a number of them scrolling below the screen. But let's look at the visit of Peter Obi to Ayo Fayose and how concerned or how excited his supporters have been. Well, we would not go to that straight away, but then we'll begin first of all with Obi's the kind of worries that his popularity among the youths has created in the camps of the People's Democratic Party's candidate and also the All Progressive Congress Party's candidate. Well, indications emerged on Sunday that the camp of Atiku Abubakar, presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), and that the presidential flag bearer of the All Progressive Congress (APC) are jittery over the rise in popularity of Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, amongst the youths. Well, it's expected because even a simple statement made by a woman of God on Sunday was timed to be talking about Peter Obi, and of course that raised some noise, dust everywhere. Every time anything goes in the direction of Obi, and well, I think if Peter Obi had not pulled out of PDP, personally, I feel if Peter Obi had not pulled out of PDP, we would have had issues now. We would have been more concerned, because choosing amongst the two major, the ruling party and the major opposition party, would have been an issue. When we consider, okay, the credentials of this person and the credentials of that person, and one feels inside. I mean, they are not just satisfying, and so. But then now it makes the contest very, very much interesting. People who want to go for the APC candidate, people who are interested in going for the PDP candidate, people who are interested in going for the Labour Party candidate, and several others. But then these three are the major runners, major contestants for the presidential election. Well, quite others joining, but then when we talk about the names that are being heard almost every day, almost in the mouth of every youth in Nigeria, you hear be obedient and also be useful. Well, ahead of the 23 general elections, the three major political parties, APC, PDP, and Labour Party, are currently strategizing to lure youths who constitutes the larger percentage of the voting population, into their fold, of course. And interestingly, President Muhammadu Buhari has started laying the foundation for an ever free and fair. Rigging becomes very, very difficult. If you steal ballot box, that means you need something to use in your house. In fact, I don't expect any police to be pursuing you, because it's useless. Yes, it's going to be a waste of time for the police to be running after you. If they catch you, they just punish you for doing that. It's not because of the effect of what you stole. You know what I mean? I don't know if somebody has ever stolen something from you and said, "Oh, you can have it." After all, I don't. We don't need. It's not useful. It's not useful, and I think Nigeria is getting to that point where, by the grace of God, every thumbprint, it's going to become very, very. Everything will be electronic, online, such that every thumbprint will just show. In fact, you can go back home and watch your TV. And then you see PDP moving 1, 2, APC moving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and everybody will be watching. You see NNPP moving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see Labour Party, you cannot count it. You see the speed at which it's moving, and quite others, like that. That's the way. That's where we're looking at elections going to. But then these three parties are the major ones, and now that they already know that, look, the youths have. They have taken over, so to speak. They constitute the larger, and when you consider the number of people who have gone to get their PVCs recently, the youths are all over the place, and so it's now the PVC, something in the minds of the Nigerians to show that, look, your votes are quite. If it's not of value, now the value of what you want to sell will determine the price at which it's going to be sold. So if anybody is really going to buy your vote, if anybody wants to buy your vote, as in the person really wants to buy your vote and he wants you to vote for them, then the person should be willing to pay you as much as 50 million naira, or maybe 50 million dollars. That's true. That's the worth. That's the value you place on yourself. Not a value of 2,000 naira, 2,500 naira, and you still go to. No. That's not going to happen again. Vote buy. Even the youths that would have sold the votes are not going to sell votes anymore. You saw that happen in Osun State. Well, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, which just concluded its continuous voters registration CVR exercise across the is the reason for the worry in the camp of of the APC and also the Labour Party. Well, according to the statistics released by the electoral umpire, about 8.7 million are between the age of 18 and 34, while about 2.4 million are between the age of 35 and 49. Those per se in 1999, the presidential election are always been two of the Labour Party. Obi, a former governor of Anambra State, had already purchased the People's Democratic form but withdrew from the race few days to the primaries to join the Labour Party. Since then, support for him has grown tremendously, with many youths pledging to work for that young man was offered an appointment by the governor, and the young man honorably turned down the appointment because he said, "I have made up my mind. I am vowed to be obedient. I'm working for Obi." Yes, so look at that's how far things have gone. That's how good things are. And see what happened in Ekiti State. Now that Peter Obi has gone to visit, the Ekiti Jagaban of politics, the Ekiti, looking at it from, having a political view of it, we also feel that if they had sorted the issue, then they would have been a very strong force. Then there would not have been a division of vote, because Segun Oni also has people following him. So if those people who followed Segun Oni to SDP, join party, join him in the PDP with the people who voted for, the man in the PDP, then they would have been stronger, and the contest would have become, more interesting. But then the APC got it there. But that was not the case in Osun. It was different in Osun. They voted out the incumbent, and of course, though the incumbent governor, Isiaka Boyega Oyetola, has gone to court, filed a case at the election tribunal saying that the governor-elect forged his result. Well, so many feel some of the some of the reactions we saw really show that, look, some person said that, look, this is the Ekiti State. Why Peter Obi supporters are excited about Peter Obi's visit to Ayo Fayose. Well, millions of Peter Obi's admirers have once again taken over the social media arena to celebrate Peter Obi's visit to the strong man of Ekiti politics, Ayodele Fayose, aka Peter the Rock. People's names are given to them by their parents based on what they want. They couldn't help but agree with him. It just goes that same way. It says, "My name is Peter the Rock. You hit me, you die. I hit you." That drew my attention was the power of the people. Peter Obi, who is currently considered a symbol of emancipation, went to understandably. They are pleased with it. His namesake, and of course, even though, like I said earlier on, the camp of Ayo Fayose did not win the election, but this is politics. This is politics. I also understand that Ayo Fayose is also he's not an enemy of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He's not, though he's of course he's younger. He's a younger politician too. He's showing, there's one of the pictures there where he had this kind of view, like, what are we going to do? Why don't we just come